space from South Africa. You know, I thought this was, I was told, oh, you're so cute, oh, that's so sweet that you're trying to make a difference. It's only when you walk in the corner and they say this, own your seat at the table, make yourself heard, and add value that way, because that's when people start taking you seriously. The organization is now going to operate in 15 countries. We have, you know, the first world, the US and the UK, asking us to run programs in this field, because we've shown, doesn't matter what I look like, doesn't matter what gender I am, doesn't matter how high my heels are, I'm the best at what I do. And that self-worth journey, I think there's a way that, again, each of us have a role to play from a role modeling perspective, from enabling people. You know, there's an answer that says as women, when you get to the top, send the elevator back down. So to many women in this room, just to this point, when you meet, what is the one thing you're going to do today to empower one girl child, one woman who's following the path behind you to make it that much easier for her? Because this whole thing around male-dominated industries needs to change, and that's a role for both of us to play.
Thank you so much. So in summary, economically independence, the role of the male figures in our society, and also self-worth, knowing that you deserve to be somewhere and you can be there now. So Adiza, I will not extend this question to you because I think you also spoke about role models, so forth as well. So I'll address the question to Mujari. 3 points.
Yeah.
What do we need to do to tackle gender inequality?
Oh my goodness, 3 points in 3 minutes. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to leave this forum with 3 important words, and I'll try to just quickly explain. Number 1, I'm going to leave you with the word Mujari. Very strange, isn't it? That's my title. My aunt was a warrior princess from 1400 coming from Tanzania. She fought alongside men. And guess what I did as Mujari, who inherited a title? I didn't want to wait for government to give me title because they would never do that. I didn't want UN to give me a title. I went to my great auntie's title, Mujari, from 1400. Then I took it. I went to all male members of my family and I said, why change history? My aunt used to be a warrior princess. So they gave me all vast pieces of land where I built girls empowerment villages. No girls. So I think put power in your hands. When you call me Betty, you are taking away my title. Don't take that one away. You can take anything else, but leave Mujari. That's the power that I have. So when you go to Zimbabwe, they say Mujari. Not everybody is going to be a doctor. Not everybody is going to have a PhD. But I think our history left powerful women. Queen Zinga, Buya Nehanda. We have got so much history that is also powerful. That patriarchy tried to bury. I revived one of them. So when men come to our empowerment village in Rusape Makoni, Zimbabwe, they all bow down to Mujari. When they hear Mujari is coming, every rapist runs away. Everyone in the village who thinks they've got a crime against a child, they run away. That's how powerful women are. It's not like we were born victims, we were born victorious in Africa. Number 2, the girls empowerment model, I would actually say Google that. It's now in Essex. It's all a whole empire in Essex. Where I used to think when I was in Africa, because I used to get donor funding, all is well in Britain. That's what people think. They are giving us money, all is well. Until I listened to every African girl. And I found out that besides gender inequality in our African home, they also have racism to fight. So they've got about 10 layers. So I say to myself, why can't we just unite those back home and those who are here? So we have actually established that. But as you rightly said, I'm facing the same people who say, where is this African woman coming from? But also positively, I'm facing some who are saying, the power to address African women's issues is here. So I think I would rather go with the positive one. So the girls empowerment model is here in the United Kingdom. We are going to house it because Mugabe kicked me out of the country. Then number 3, I asked it for my handbag to come here. I don't go on stage without my handbag. I always tell every girl, have an empowerment handbag. This, have it. Wherever you go, make sure you carry it. In it, you've got your own economic liberation. No husband is named here. You go to an ATM. It says, good morning, madam. Welcome. How much do you want? And you say, please give me 200 pounds for just my lunch to relax as a woman. So we are teaching our girls to say, have your empowerment handbag. And do you know what else is in my empowerment handbag? My keys. Symbolic. We teach girls. In my empowerment, look how many keys I have. Key for my house. It's my house. Key for my car. If a man gives me trouble, I just say, do. I don't want to be there. Key to my office. It's my empowerment place. So we are teaching girls, hold your empowerment handbag. This one, don't just put makeup and condoms. Because condoms will condemn you. Put empowerment, economically, put empowerment, freedom. So those are the 3 things I give you.
Alright, so I guess basically you're saying be independent. Take the power back.
This age group I'm worried about is the age group 18 to 26 years. Because that's when you are given pressure to show up a husband. And some of the boys you are showing us, they are miserable. They are miserable. He won't look after you. Look at his shoes. So we are saying be empowered. Because you are bringing trouble to your parents, trouble to your tribe, and trouble to your friends.
Right, thank you so much, Michelle. Because we are now past the time, unfortunately, but I think Shalaka managed to bring out some solutions that she thinks are critical in, the inclusion of women in business, talking about connecting, talking about, financial inclusivity. So I'll hand over some questions to the audience. Anyone has questions? Is anyone who's helping me with the mic?
I'll help you. I'm just about to tweet you though. Guess which line? The festival makes them go the way with your empowered handbag. I'll take enough condoms and make it for credit card and keys. Okay, so we just tweet and shoot together. Okay, so something like this. Okay, go to you then. Please tell us about briefly and what's.
Hi, my name is Wakoli. I'm a Kenyan engineer in Southampton doing my second engineering degree. Being a young African female engineer is an extreme sport, but my question is actually on intersectionality. Some of you may have touched on it a little bit, but my point was what can we do today to address the fact that many young African women are in rural areas, have very little access to education and finance, and may not have as much access to information as we do here. What thing can we all do today to change that?
Thank you very much.
Should we take another?
Yeah, take another because we only have 5 minutes for this whole section, so I'm going to give you 20 seconds each for your question.
Okay, first I'd just like to say thank you really quickly. My question is mostly directed towards Ms. Salape Epega, but this is the whole panel. So as young female entrepreneurs trying to go back to Africa and trying to start our own businesses, where these networks may not exist to help us out and to support us. I like what one of the panelists said, own your seat at the table. However, as new entrants, what can we do to make sure that they take us seriously, that they will will listen to us and we have a voice when we go into the business world.
That's about 35 seconds. Very quickly, if you can keep a note of these questions.
Do we need to get better at selling gender empowerment in terms of the economic success that it can bring and the business case, rather than shrouding it in human rights narrative?
Fantastic.
My name is Emerson. Mine is more comment. And I think for so long, the narrative that we as Africans have been sold are not our narrative. Quickly, when you look at, let me use Nigeria and let me use the Yoruba tribe. Pre-colonial times, before decisions are made, you have women who are in charge of trade, commerce, and internal affairs. After pre-colonial times, all that was eroded. But what I mentioned that in terms of where we were before, so it's important for us to bring that back so that the younger generations, the Queen Anne Rosaria, and all of those, we have lost those history. I think we need to bring them back. That is also part of how we can empower ourselves and say, you know what, we women in the past, we have been strong, we have been part of the community and part of decision making. What we have now, we need to change it and turn it to our own narrative.
Thank you. We've got not even 5 minutes because we're running low. Okay, Sandy, obviously.
Right, so I guess we'll start with a question on what to do for new entrants in taking their seat at the table, and what can you actually do now for access to education and finance for women in rural areas. I think that was the question there. So I guess I would extend it to Sholape and to Ian.
Okay, I'll start with Annie. What I always say is we stand on the shoulders of giants. There have been people who've been there before you. They've made all the expensive mistakes that you're going to make. Hold on to these 4 women here today, 5. They've come here to speak. Hold them accountable to their work. I like this word creative convergence, and I'm going to use it again. You know, I have the 3 E's: encourage, and we all here have a responsibility to listen to what the issues are, because they're all solutions. Encourage, like Henna said, what can I do today to encourage another woman? Not bitching about her beautiful eyelashes and her cheekbones that are not like mine. What can I actually do to encourage her? If we all started doing that, it will create a ripple effect. And then empower, handhold. We all have something we can give. Handhold, develop a network, find guidance, get support. You know, just stand on the shoulders of other people who've come ahead of you. And enlighten with what you've acquired, knowledge you've acquired, pass it on, pay forward. I always say pay forward. I've learned so much stuff here today. And trust me, I'm going to coin the word and blast them everywhere, because if we don't pay it forward, it will not be recycled.
So I'm getting signals from the back, we have to be tight on the side.
Alright, okay. How about what to do now in terms of access to finance and education? Had you touched on that, or you just spoke about
Financial inclusion.
Yes.
Financial inclusion is vital, and it starts with the multiples of £1 in crowdfunding, because we're always looking at the huge, financial institutions. We're always looking for grant funding. We can start with crowdfunding. Yes, when you have something that is worthy of interest, when you put a whole plan in place, when you have a strategy, then you can approach, the commercial lenders. I was speaking yesterday and I was making a point saying, the commercial lenders must begin to really listen to it, because women actually have a greater rate of repayment. It's generally accepted globally. So, there must be products and services that include women, that are accessible, affordable, and available for them. Financial inclusion must start from the £1 to the multiples of the millions, because that is how you're going to take the power.
Thank you. So Adisa has something to say.
Philanthropy is a crowdfunding network in London, in person, last 5 years we've been doing these grassroots funding events, and it is about social entrepreneurship, but we bring the crowd from our networks. And so I would say that instead of having that cook-up in order to celebrate X's birthday, have that cook-up in order to talk about the fact, hey, I need to borrow £100, you probably not going to get it back, but I need that crowd funding, because one stat that's interesting is that Ghana, I think that's we're going to have to stop. I said Ghana, Ghana has more money going back to Ghana via the diaspora than the international development projects that go to Ghana. So, if the diaspora communities and also the influx of foreign direct investment comes from us, and do those kind of things from grassroots, that makes more difference for the long term.
Okay, so crowdfunding. You got your answer. Crowdfund today with your friends, raise £1,000 and give it back to your community. Right, so I think the other question is to remember, how do we give power back? How do you make the young girls know that in historical times, women were sitting in the seats, they were making decisions, they were basically ruling, being queens. How do you put that back in our education systems, I guess, from a very young age? Who would like to take that question?
So I can talk to that tie to the question around making the business case, because, oftentimes we talk about women empowerment and rightly so, it's about the human rights issues. But let's be honest, money talks. When you have a seat at the table, it can affect everything. The business case is clear, right? So in emerging markets in Africa, studies show that women spend 90 cents of every dollar earned on other. So on health, on community, on education, on their family, and the things in themselves. So when women win, everybody wins. The business case is also clear that when women have a seat at the board, Fortune 500 companies around in America, companies on every stock exchange, when women are on the board, those companies repeatedly do better. The third type of business case, which is also proven, when women are included in economic activity, a whole GDP of a country can change, especially in the developing world. Now, when those three happen, then we have a bigger voice to, like I said, address the human rights issues. But without the business case, we shouldn't empower women just because it's the right thing to do, which it certainly is, but it makes business sense. And what that means from how we pay forward, and it's also the same thing. Show up. To have an impact, you don't have to start a non-profit organization, you don't have to, and I think we had conversations yesterday, you don't have to be a millionaire to be a philanthropist. It starts with you. Mentor a girl child. Sponsor someone on your team for a promotion. Speak. So it's just ask what's next to you. What can I do? What's the conversation going to have with your daughter and your son when you go home today? Bottom line is show up, and that leads to the change.
All right. Thank you so much. Round of applause.
Thank you very much. There was so much more to say. I don't think we answered every question, but that was a wonderful panel. Thank you very much indeed. Please, as they leave the stage, be very generous in your applause, because that was